Hello and welcome to RadioTimes.com's reaction to the latest episode of Taskmaster. We're here to settle the scores and to separate the googly-eyed gangs from the Yorkshire melons. Right, Minnie, we've just watched episode 5. We're now halfway through the season. What was your moment of the week?
It's absolutely hands down got to be the red water task, specifically Sue Perkins licking round the corners, even though anything circular doesn't have any corners. That was an instant classic of a Taskmaster task. It produced several brilliant moments, obviously number one being Sue licking around the corners, but also Sam setting fire to something, people completely epically failing, having meltdowns. Yeah. That's just gold dust Taskmaster.
It's one of those great tasks. There's so many different ways to approach it. Nearly all of them futile, but it encourages people to think outside the box. Yeah, I loved it. I loved the fact that Sam thought to burn the paper to look for a secret message.
Genius.
Would never have thought of that. And I've got to be honest, it blew my mind when they put the vase over the top and the water rose. Obviously, I missed that day at school when we did that experiment. But yeah, no, I thought that was fantastic. Sue was also in my moment of the week. I really loved the live task this week, specifically the very end of the live task, where Sue inadvertently self-sacrificed herself to get Julian's champagne over the line. It was glorious. It was heartbreaking. It was
true valiance from Sue. That
absolutely.
moment.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Absolutely.
Some just lean over a red line on the Taskmaster stage to get some champagne for Julian Clary.
It was all round, like, that was a brilliant Taskmaster task as well. I feel like it was a really strong week task-wise.
Yep.
We've really hit our stride this season. This is kind of peak Taskmaster now.
Definitely, and a special shout out for the water balloon task as well, which,
of course,
classic Taskmaster. It feels like one that the show must have done ages ago.
How have we not seen that already? It's genius.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It feels like I've seen it.
Yeah, it's Taskmaster 101.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that was fantastic. So yeah, that was great. We're going to talk a bit more about the second pre-recorded task now, which was the googly-eyed gangs and settling the scores. How did you think Greg marked this? Were you in agreement with any things you disagreed with?
I have a score to settle, right. Definitely.
Please do.
I think that it should have been Julian 4 points, Susan 3. It was actually the other way around. No doubt Sam wins completely hands down. That was 5 points. That was genius and horrifying and terrifying and hilarious.
Like a David Lynch film, it's scary as anything.
Perfection from Sam. Definitely deserving of the 5 points. But to me, Julian's kind of aesthetically pleasing, neat and tidy gang of kettles and teapots was the 4-pointer. Very funny, very aesthetically pleasing, and very Julian Clary.
Absolutely, yeah, pure Julian.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I really liked Susan's. I'd probably had Susan's above Julian on the sheer terror factor, the scale of the horror and the intimidating nature of her gang. I think you do not want to encounter that gang in a dark alleyway.
I will give you the terror factor for sure. That's fair enough, the terror.
She had that in her favour. I'd quite happily encounter Julian's gang in an alleyway and have a nice cup of tea in the afternoon. So I think Susan did really well there. Special shout out for Susan as well in the studio, who's killing it in the fashion stakes.
Absolutely. A moment of sort of special mention for Susan's iconic Susan's sweater.
Yep.
That was just perfection for me. I'm so glad that she's bringing raising the fashion stakes in the studio.
Yes, particularly considering Sam Campbell has worn grey to every single episode in the studio so far. It's a choice. I'm waiting to see where it's going. If it's going anywhere, maybe the last episode is going to come out in a multicoloured feather boa. I don't know.
Working hard to kind of keep the fashion stakes low, I think, is what Sam is doing.
True. Yeah, so Sam's one in the scale, but yeah, I think a special shout out also to Susan's spirited away top from a previous episode, which was fantastic too.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on now to the series scores. We've got an update on the series scoreboard this week. So we know that Sam is in the lead. 2 points behind is Julian. Then firmly in third place at the moment is Sue. Not insurmountable, she could come back. And then towards the bottom, we've got Lucy, and then 2 points behind, currently last, is Susan. So let's make some predictions. Halfway there, who do you think is going to win the overall series?
Halfway through the season, I would back Julian Clary. I think he's got that consistent high score in him. Yep. I also have to mention, stats-wise, he's won 4 out of 5 of the live tasks. Yeah. I think that's going to really work in his favour as we keep going. That kind of consistency, high scoring, winning the live tasks in the studio. I think that's going to serve him really well, and I think he can claw back those couple of points on Sam with that consistency.
I think that's a great shout. He clearly keeps cool in the live tasks as well, which is half the battle. I'm still going to pull for Sam. I still think Sam has it. He's not far behind him in the live task stakes, Sam. He's won 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
I think that he's clearly won over Greg. Greg loves him. Alex loves him as well. And I think you can see moments where he's maybe slightly overscored, as much as I find him fantastic. I think we all do. Maybe that, over the course of the next 5 episodes, how much Greg loves him, the chaos he brings, strong performance in live tasks, I think that will probably push him over the edge to the win personally.
I think you might have talked me around there slightly, because definitely that affection he has that he's won from Greg and Alex, I think will serve him really well to continue to be slightly generously marked.
He's played a good game.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. Let us know what you thought of this week's episode in the comments below, and join us next week for our next reaction to Taskmaster. Bye.